Hello and good evening. How do I sound? Is it good? Because this is a new microphone and I hope it sounds better. I said new microphone, but it's just a cheap microphone I bought randomly when I went to the city a few days ago. I'm currently on vacation and honestly I have been making less video than I was hoping for. But nevertheless, I think I'm gonna make this video about my current anime status. So fall 2017 anime is has been pretty good, but at the same time I have also been quite disappointed in some anime. And let's go. I'm looking at my folder right now, and I'm gonna go from alphabetical order. So Anime Gatari is shit. Don't bother watching. It's just a bunch of lazily made reference anime where the characters are very boring and very bland, very uninteresting or not entertaining. And then for Blend S, I think I have mentioned in my video, even though it has a semi decent premise, I think it failed to deliver on that premise and went for a very boring comedy, lackluster comedy. Not necessarily bad. I think depends on people, but I found it very boring, and I think it does not use the characters it has to the full potential. And then for next is emo. No. Next is Boku no Kanojo ga Majime Sugiru Shobich. This is a kinda a dumb fan service anime, but imagine it's like an inferior Setokaya Queen, but except the female characters are much more lewd, much sluttier than all the characters in SYD. The good thing about it is that each scenes, each scenes kinda move along quickly, so you don't have this very protracted, prolonged scenes, awkward fan service scene. Because every time there's a fan service, it quickly ends and move forward to the next scenes. I guess it has that, but at the same time, I think this would make a better 10 minutes anime than a full 20 minutes anime. Because for a 20 minutes anime feels too long for this very immature and juvenile jokes. But I still watch it just because for it's not good, but I still watch it a bit. I still watch it because for just lol. I don't think you should watch it if you don't really have time for anime. And next is Code Realize. Code Realize is a more of a Fujoshi anime. It's a reverse harem anime. It has it's I mentioned before that I really hate reverse harem because I think it's much more one-dimensional and much more boring than a harem anime. And Code Realize it has a great art. When I first watched episode 1, my first thought was there's no way they can maintain this quality of art for the next few episodes. But then until episode 5, the art quality is quite uh what do you say? It was able to maintain the good art quality. It has great color and the character designs are pretty good. I think the character designs is pretty stylish, but at the same time the characters are very one-dimensional and the dialogues are boring. Even though I think the plot is pretty good. I mean, it's doable. I think the plot is something you can work with to make a much more compelling story, but until then it's so. And then there's another problem with reverse harem genre where for some reason the main female characters is often very boring, very apathetic, very has no emotion. I think it is something like making a generic characters so the female viewers can insert themselves into the main characters, main heroine. But I really hated the heroine in Code Realize. So say no Himegimi. and I don't think I'm still watching it because I think the art is pretty good. I actually want to see the art direction in later episodes. And then the next in the list is Garo. I'm actually a fan of Garo. I have been watching most of the live actions, and I watched Hono no Kakuin, the first anime, the one about Leon and Alfonso. I really love the first one. I said that because and the movie is really good, and I said that because I don't like the second Garo anime, which is set in Japan, feudal Japan. I watched like 4 episodes of it, and I really don't like it. I just drop it. But and the Garo Vanishing Line is set in modern, something like New York, and so far it's so good, even though it's very Monster of the Week format. But I like the characters, I like the setting. The there's an astonishing amount of details that you might miss, that you can appreciate, that I appreciated. Like for example, it shows lots of these clippings, newspapers clippings, emails, and articles, and it is all in decent English, which actually is quite an effort for a Japanese studio to make an anime of. Uh, and even though so far the story has not progressed much, but I think the quality is pretty solid. The art is good. I really like the Garo character this time because unlike the more Bishonen, should I say Bishonen? More like a pretty boy type of characters like in the live action and the first Garo anime. Garo Vanishing Line, the Night Garo is a big brawler type, kinda a little fat. Not fat, he's very muscular, but he's very big. It's not a lean thin pretty boy, and I really like that design. And the next is Himoto Umaru-chan. Umaru-chan is pretty solid comedy. I can talk a lot about this, but to simplify, Himoto Umaru is just really solid. The comedy is solid, and actually this time, not this time, but there's a lot of heartwarming moments in that, just silly things. I think it managed to continue the quality of the first season, and I really enjoyed it. It's funny, it's silly, and when it gets into heartwarming and stuff, it gets really quite heartwarming. And then next is Hoseki no Kuni. I really should make a dedicated video for this because I didn't make my first impression of this. But I really love Hoseki no Kuni. Probably one of my favorite this season. I think I'm gonna make another video about this, but I really love it. It's mysterious. The characters are compelling. The story is it pulls you in. It's very interest. It makes me want to know more about the nature of the place the characters live in. The character concept is very unique, and how should I say this? The whole jewel type of characters, and the 3D CG models are pretty good. I think the characters look pretty. I love the hairs. They make enough distinction between characters. They don't force character archetypes, even though there's obvious character archetypes for each characters in the anime, but they don't force it. They make their interaction very more natural than many anime writers do. And next is Infinity Force. Infinity Force is still very good. I really like it. I want to know more about it. I'm looking forward for the next episode. It's like episode 7 now. The things gets really exciting now. And then what? Junin Tyson. Junin Tyson is shit. Don't bother. It's like Monogatari without the thing that makes Monogatari watchable or interesting. It's too edgy. It's pretentious. I hate that pretentious the pretentiousness of this anime. And next is Konohana Kitan. I dropped it after episode 3. I'm very disappointed that it didn't turn out as good as I hoped for when I watched episode 1. I dropped Urahara. I dropped... what else? No, DS area is from it's a visual novel, right? It's an adaptation of visual novel, but I watched like 3 episodes of it, and I kind of forgot to watch the new episodes because it's the mainly because the dialogues are very boring. I think it's very the dialogues and the individual scenes are very amateurish, enough to make me not interested in it. And next is Just Because. No, before Just Because, Inuyashiki. Inuyashiki is pretty interesting. Uh, it's quite a dark and gritty anime, but it has the main characters is an old man, and I think they try to make this duality between the old man and another young man who also becomes some kind of super weapon cyborg. But so far, I think the story is pretty good, even though it's dark and gritty. They don't really push it to a level that is very annoying, like most gritty and edgy anime. But I was told by my friend that the manga turns very kind of bad later on, so I'm hoping the anime cut the unnecessary part and just show the good part, or change the story to make it better compared to the manga. But I haven't read the manga, but that's what my friend told me. And next is Just Because. It's a romantic comedy anime, romantic drama anime. Uh, for this anime, I'm a little disappointed because I think in overall the execution of the scenes and the art quality could be better, but the story is decent enough. It's a love triangle anime. It's not triangle, love quadrangle anime, quad angle anime, because there's so many characters that like each other. Girl, a character A likes character B, which character C like, which character D likes. It's something like that. But I was hoping that for the art quality to be better, but it's not really, and the scenes could be better in overall. It's kind of a average anime for me, and the characters are so except one character that I really like the kohai that like wants to take pictures of the senpai. I think that's the characters that I like the most. It could be better. I think it could be better. I want it to be better. I'm still watching it, but I don't have much expectation of it. Okay, guys, and then next is Kekkai Sensen. Kekkai Sensen Beyond. Yeah, this is a very fun anime. I really love it. Just like the first season. It's very whimsical, very silly. At the same time, it's very actiony and very. It enjoys itself. It enjoys being itself. You can see sometimes you can see the anime enjoy the studio enjoys making it. And Kekkai Sensen has great art. The setting, the New York Hell Salams is still pretty. It's still a very good, a very interesting setting. It's a little. How should I say this? I think so far it's and then in the second season, there's more characters has been showcased compared to the first season. Where first season there are many characters that didn't have a proper time to shine. And I'm glad the second season has focused on these characters like Chain Sumeragi and the Butler. And not to mention, I'm gonna say that episode 2 of Kekkai Sensen is one of the best individual episodes I have watched recently. Was it episode 2? I forgot. I think if you watch it, look out for episode where they went to a hospital. I think that's one of the best individual episodes I have watched recently. And the next is, oh my god, I actually watched lots of anime this season. Kino no Tabi. I'm gonna make a video about this individual video about this. and I'm still watching it. I want to say that I watched the classic one. I think it's 2004 or 2003, early 2000 Kino no Tabi. This is a remake, by the way. So far, it's quite good. I enjoyed it, but maybe I'm gonna make a video about this later. And then next anime is Love Live Sunshine. It's a great fucking anime, fucking great anime. Sorry for cursing. I'm kind of a fan of Love Live in general. I think Sunshine season 2 so far is pretty good. It's kinda what I expected, and I had a high expectation. It met my expectation. And next is Mahotsukai no Yome. I quite like this. I like the mysterious feeling of this anime. It's a little dark, but just like many great anime in my opinion, it does not push the darkness. Even though the main characters is practically dying, and the main character, the heroine, has a very dark childhood, dark background, but it does not really push it to the point that it just being silly or being cringy. I'm gonna make a video about this maybe when like almost finish it. Next is Netuju no Susume. Surprisingly, I didn't drop this, and even though I said it's a bad anime, but I'm gonna say that it's quite charming. And personally, in the past few episodes, the shoujo aspect of the anime, as in the relationship drama of it, actually get quite good. If you ignore the many on silliness of the online aspect of it and the overall mediocre art quality, it's a fairly cute and charming romance story. I personally, even though I think it's a very it's a average anime, I'm really looking forward for next episodes. Oh my god, I have been talking like 20 minutes now. Next is Shoujo Shumatsu Ryoko. Great anime. Watch it. If you are a fan of slice of life, definitely watch it. And then Tukas. Tukas I quite love it. I really like Tukas. It might be one of my top anime this season. I hope the next the next couples are also has a good story. So what so far it's the middle of fall 2017. What my opinion on the anime this season is, it's quite good. There's a lot of good anime, and I don't think when people say, "Oh, this season has no good anime," I think they just didn't try to watch everything. If if uh if you want me to recommend three anime from this season, that's really good. I think you should try uh, Hoseki no Kune, Infinity Force, and maybe Matsukai no Yome, because I think these three animes at least can cater for a more for a wider audience. And many other thing I like is either sequel or slice of life. Anyways, I've been talking for 20 minutes, and I am actually on my vacation, even though I only spend my time playing games. Anyways, if you, what do you think about the voice quality in this video? Because I hope that this new microphone is working well, and I have a Discord and DeviantArt and Pixiv. Come visit me if you like. Thank you for listening.